Hey y'all, Sarah here, and guess what? It's May! Happy summer! Which means it is time for my favorite kind of reading, summer reading. Ugh, just saying that reminds me of the summer reading program at the library when I was a kid. You know, when you would read 1,000 books and get prizes and, yeah, big time nerd. I've got a great pile of summer reads for May. They're all beach reads, but I should probably preface that by saying that my kind of beach read is, of course, fun and interesting, but it also has some substance to it. And I think all these books have a certain amount of weight to them. First of all, my top priority for May is, what? The new Sarah Dessen? Can you hear the angels singing right now? OMG, you guys. Sarah Dessen only writes a book every 2 years, and so when a new book comes around, it's like Christmas in May. Merry Christmas! As you can see, I've already dived into this book. I couldn't help myself. And it is so freaking good. The premise, just to give you a hint, you need to know the premise, all you need to know is that it's by Sarah Dessen. But anyway, this book focuses on Sydney, a girl who's always grown up in the shadow of her older brother Peyton. He's hot, he's charming, everyone loves him, until one night he's drunk driving and hits a kid and paralyzes him and goes to jail. And now, all of a sudden, Peyton has to deal with her family's reaction and no longer living in his shadow, and yet still living in his shadow, and dealing with the guilt and the grief of what he's done. And of course, there's a cute boy. Man, I can't do anything but read this book. I'm surprised I'm even making this video right now because I could be reading this, so maybe I need to go. Next up, I've got A Sense of the Infinite by Hilary T. Smith. This book has a great theme that I hope I see more of in YA, and I already know I will because I've got another book that has this theme. But it's about a girl kind of realizing that her friendship with her best friend might be changing and might be ending. And I think this is a topic that a lot of teenagers experience, especially when they're going to college or maybe midway through college, that breakup of a friendship that I think is a really huge milestone of adolescence that not a lot of authors have tackled. So I'm excited to see what Hilary Smith does with that. And I'm excited to see what Lauren Barnholt does with that in this book, Heat of the Moment, which is the first in a summer trilogy. That sounds fun. Let me read you part of the back. Lila McAfee had all but forgotten the email that she wrote to herself freshman year and scheduled to be delivered right after graduation, the one promising that she'd learn to trust by the end of senior year. But when she receives it the first morning of her senior trip to Florida, her life is sent into a tailspin. Can't wait to take this one to the pool. And finally, we've got The Cost of All Things by Maggie Lehrman. The blurb on the back says, "What would you pay to cure your heartbreak, banish your sadness, transform your looks? The right spell can fix anything." When Ari's boyfriend dies, she gets a spell to erase all memory of him. But spells come at a cost, and this one sets off a chain of events that reveal the hidden and sometimes dangerous connections between Ari, her friends, and Win, the boyfriend she can no longer remember. Kind of sounds like The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I love, so I'm interested to see how Maggie Lehrman plays with that idea. See you guys at the beach. Could somebody get me a margarita?
Hey guys, Mandy C here with my TBR picks for May. There are an absolute ton of books coming out in May, but unfortunately there are only so many days in the month and only so many hours to read. One book I'm really looking forward to reading this month is Sarah J. Maas's Thorns. A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is really hard to say, but the book itself is about fairies and comes from the author of the Throne of Glass series, which I really loved, so I'm really excited to check this one out. Another book I'm looking forward to reading this month is SCARLETT Undercover by Jennifer Latham. This book is being marketed towards Veronica Mars fans, which I am one of, but it also features a lot of paranormal aspects, which I am also a fan of, so this book is right up my alley. Another book I'm looking forward to reading this month is a prequel to a upcoming ABC Family TV movie that we've actually talked about on the site called The Descendants. This book is The Isle of the Lost. It's by Melissa De La Cruz, and it introduces the characters that will be in The Descendants: Maleficent's daughter, the Evil Queen's daughter, the son of Jafar, and Cruella de Vil's son. So this should probably be a really fun read. I'm hoping the TV movie is also fun.
Hey guys, I'm Jenny, and I have just one book for May, but I think it's going to be pretty great. I have The Improbable Theory of Anna and Zach by our one, our only, FYA contributor Brian Katcher. This is the story of Anna, who's completely type A, and Zach, who is completely not. In fact, Zach thinks it's okay to copy things from Wikipedia and turn them into school because everybody does it. No, Zach, never do that. Coming from a history nerd, don't do it. Anyway, Zach has to make up for his transgressions by joining the Quiz Bowl team, and Anna is not particularly thrilled about this. Zach is even less happy because he has to miss WashingCon, a video game conference, in order to do the Quiz Bowl trip. On top of that, Anna's little brother decides to disappear into WashingCon with the orcs and the Vikings and all of the other costume people, and Anna and Zach have to team up to find him, and it becomes their very cute first date. So I've just started reading this book. It is full of the humor that if you know Brian at all, if you've ever read his reviews or even better, seen his Instagram, you will get the references, you will see the same sort of humor, and I think I'm going to be, and I bet you will be too, delighted.
Hey everyone, this is Manny Wan. So for May, I have a couple of books that take place in lands far, far away. First, I have The Wrath of the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. So the king in this book takes a new bride every night and then has her killed the next morning. And the heroine of the story wants to become his next wife in order to avenge her friend who was one of those unlucky brides. And she keeps herself alive night after night by telling him stories so that he wants to keep her around some more. So it's a wide reimagining of 1001 Nights that's supposed to have some really good world building and a steamy romance, so I can't wait to start this one. Next I have KRABAT and the Sorcerer's Mill by OTFRIED PREUSSLER. Now, this isn't a new release, but it's new to me. This book was pitched to us at FYA as, like, Harry Potter set in Germany during the Middle Ages, but slightly darker. Because, you know, an orphan living under the stairs in a cupboard just isn't dark enough. So, obviously, I'm sold.